Brentford up against Manchester United. It is officially the time we've been waiting for after a whole 2 weeks of a lull. No English Premier League action. That is arguably one of the most boring periods in global football, not having the Premier League going on. But we are back to action as Manchester United gets the title chase underway. Now, I call it the title chase because, like I've been telling you, top four is a title for Manchester United. Welcome to the United Hotspot. My name is Webb, and here is the official match build-up for that game, our trip to Brentford. It's a nearly packed house for Manchester United. Lisandro Martinez is back. He's not starting. He's on the bench, as we will find out as we do go through the starting 11. You see it right there on your screen. So Martinez is on the bench. Casemiro is on the bench, but it doesn't matter. We've got the players who we believe can gift us a victory against this stubborn Brentford that beat us 4-0 the last time we visited them here. It's going to be an important game for Manchester United, and I do hope you are psyched. Tell me in the comment section what your prediction is for this game. Do you think we are going to build on our stellar performance against Liverpool in the FA Cup in the last game we played before the international break? But also, let me know what you think about the starting 11. The beauty is that our boy Kobbie Mainoo is there. He was feared ill before the game earlier on in the day, but it is good to see that he's fully fit and ready to be playing a part in this game. But the confirmed starting 11 for Manchester United in goal is Andre Onana, starting in between the sticks again. I think probably he's the only player to start every Premier League game for Manchester United this season since he joined the club, since he arrived. So Andre Onana starts in goal, who was feared ill before today, returns hoping to again build on his stellar performance on his full debut for England, together with Scott McTominay and Bruno Fernandes in the middle. And our striker, Rasmus Højlund, will be hoping to rediscover his goal-scoring form as he returns again for the first time in the Premier League since that injury. The last game he played was in the FA Cup against Liverpool. This is his first in the Premier League ever since he left as the best player in that month back then of February. Alejandro Garnacho is on the right and Marcus Rashford starts on the left. That is the starting 11 for Manchester United. Guys, let me know how you rate that starting 11. Ahimbisiwe Steven says Man United is going to win this one by 3-1. Who will score the goals? That's the question I would ask. And of course, we know that Højlund is there, our lead striker. Will he again bang in one? Do you expect him to be on target in this one? You can let me know your thoughts on that. But the starting 11 for United is like that. Andre Onana has spoken before the game saying it's an important week for us. It's a very important game for us. We know how important this game is. So the preparation was good. That was Andre Onana speaking to Sky. We have to show what we prepared on the pitch. That's exactly what we do hope to see. But the highlight at the Great Community Stadium will be the fact that we do have Lisandro Martinez and Casemiro back. The Butcher is on the bench together with Casemiro. We're hoping, like Erik ten Hag always does, when players spend long without playing, he actually wants to introduce them in their next game on return, probably for a few minutes there. So we are hoping that we will be seeing a bit of Lisandro Martinez and Casemiro play a part in this game later on in the advanced stages. But at least we hope again that that happens after when we have really led the way, because we are hoping for an easy lead when the game does start off. I'll also look at briefly the team, the home team, the Brentford team, and how their starting 11 is. Ahimbisiwe Steven says Dalot will be on the score sheet. Fernandes and Rashford. Impressive. Well, thank you, Ahimbisiwe. Asimwe Isaac, Man United 3-1 Brentford. Many of you are giving Man United 3 goals. That would be one of our more convincing wins of the season. If that was the score, I would love to see that. Honestly, I would love to see it. In fact, it would be better for me if Andre Onana kept another clean sheet. And for once, I want to see a game where Andre Onana takes his Man of the Match award, because honestly, Onana has consistently been improving by the day. One of our most consistent players, I think, over the past days. But in every game he has stand up, someone else has exceeded him a bit. And it's sad that he's yet to take a Man of the Match accolade, but I feel like he deserves it. I hope this is the game where he gets to win one for himself. Alfred Sendwe, it's a must win indeed. Just like Onana said, it's a must win for Manchester United because we want to keep the momentum we built. Of course, the international break could have slowed it down, but the beauty is it was a good outing for all our players during the international break. So it's beautiful. And if you recall in the reverse fixture, it was Scott McTominay who came off the bench in the last minutes of the game and saved the day for us, scoring 2 goals as we won 2-1. Ahimbizwe. Wizard scores for Brent. Okay, interesting. Namutebi Rita. Good evening, everyone. 2-0 is my prediction. I'm comfortable with the starting lineup. Well, for me, for as long as Kobe Mainu is there, I'm okay. I was worried, honestly, and I was almost going to feel ill myself because I had started seeing reports about his illness. In fact, I was going to drop a video about it. But I said, my gut told me, no, don't do it. Don't jinx yourself. Don't jinx this game because we needed him there. After him performing like that for England, we only want to come back here and see him shining for the club. So it's beautiful and great to see that this young man is there. And trust me, this is likely to be Kobe Mainoo's best game in United jerseys so far. Why? Because of the confidence he got in his full debut for England. Mark my words. Watch him. Eyes on him. Eyes on Kobe. You will see what I'm talking about. Højlund, Scott, and Rashford to score. This is according to Asimwe Isaac. Namutebi says 2-0. Honestly, I first of all love the fact that we all feel like this is a game we should win. I think gone are the days when we would all confidently come out and predict with confidence that we are coming into a game with utmost confidence and the stats favoring us that we can win it. I mean, for the most part of the earlier season, we were coming out here and we would predict, but against real hope, against reality, against fact. We could only hope against hope that we could do something. But I think now things have changed and United has turned the tide that now we comfortably come into games that we're supposed to dominate, and we indeed are the favored team to be winning them. Now, a few times we've dropped that. This time around, I hope it doesn't happen. So let's look at the Brentford team briefly because we've got to talk about them as well. The stubborn team, like I said, they beat us before, and you do recall that they are a hungry lion. They have played 6 games without a win, lost one, drawn 5 and drawn 1 and lost 5. So they are a hungry team trying to put themselves right. So the bench for Manchester United has got Sofian Amrabat, Antony, Casemiro, Christian Eriksen, Tom Heaton, Willy Kambwala, Harry Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, and Mason Mount. Now, this for me is probably our most... Okay, if we had a natural strike on the bench, the only missing thing is a strike, and clearly that opens the issues we need to fix. And there were reports that Anthony Martial could return before the end of the season. So is Luke Shaw, according to Eric Ten Hag. But there is no natural striker on the bench. There is no backup for Højlund. So meaning if the goals don't come, obviously, we will be hoping on these Garnachos and Marcus Rashford to score them, or Antony coming off the bench and pull off something, or a midfielder. So I think besides the lack of a striker on the bench, I think there is a little bit of a semblance of depth in our bench, because if you have Mason Mount there, Martinez, Maguire, Kambwala, Heaton, Eriksen, Casemiro, Antony, Amrabat, that's a bit of depth, to be honest. On a good day, all these players can be starters, probably the exception of Kambwala. I think all the rest are proper starters in the team. Then, of course, the hosts that we are facing. Here's the starting 11. Flecken in goal, Zanka, Aja, Collins, Rasmussen, Yamalok, Jensen, Janet, Lewis Potter, Ivan Toney, the captain for the day, and Wissa. Now, Ivan Toney is the other player to watch out for the home team. He is burning. He scored in his full debut for England. He's a player on fire. He's certainly one player you want to monitor well. And we are hoping that Lindelof, because with Varane, Lindelof will be doing a bit more of the donkey work of the chasing, and Varane will be doing more of the game reading and clearing. But we do need to keep eyes on him. He can really get away. He knows how to escape. I find him very lethal. I think he's one of the most dangerous strikers in the Premier League. You can imagine he spent so many months without playing football, but he came back and was already scoring goals. So he is a big player to watch. And I feel like with Brentford, if you knock out Toney, you've cut them off, I think, about 50%. If we kill Toney, out of the game, we cut them off. But the strategy should not be for us to come and try to counter Brentford. The strategy should be to come and dominate them from the start, the way we started comfortably against Liverpool, dominate them, but this time not for 30 minutes, then capitulate, then try to fight and come back into the game. That's an issue we've been having. We do not have the consistent dominance. We can start, in fact, people were beginning to call us 30 minutes FC. We start well for 30 minutes and things go south for us. I hope that now we have got the confidence to consistently dominate games that we should be dominating, and this should be one of those. Alfred Sendwe, or rather Samuel Motemwa, Man United 4-0 Brentford. Well, that would be a proper sweet revenge. That would be a proper sweet revenge for Manchester United, because that's the exact margin they beat us by in the same game last season. Namtebi, Rita, Garnacho and Hoyland are my scorers. Beautiful. That would be the dream, I think, pair. Alfred Sendwe, Russia and Hoyland to score. Impressive. Beautiful predictions. Now, the thing is, how Andrew Nana has just put it clearly how important this game is. I mean, after us performing the way we did against Liverpool, it's only obvious that the next game is going to be important, because remember, we are now up in the final 10 games. The final, after this game, we are going to be left with a single digit of games to the end of the season. Now, this is the hardest period. This is the hardest turn in the English Premier League. Now, if we win this game, consider it the first of 10, the first of the final. So the way we perform in this game, forget about how we performed against Liverpool. That is behind us. For this one, the way we play in this game is going to affect so much how we will perform in the remaining games. Because if we beat Brentford dominantly, not fumble into a victory, but if we dominate them and beat them dominantly, we are sending a good message to Liverpool, who is coming. We are sending a good message to Arsenal, to Chelsea, who we have waiting as well, as among the big teams we are about to face. So this game is to give us confidence, but also send signals to our opponents, and they will then need to adjust the game plans they had for our games. Because right now, at this point, whereas you take it a game at a time, you plan for the entire 10 games. You plan for the entire 9 games, because I'm sure Erik ten Hag will be sitting with his players in meetings, looking at all the left 9 games and looking at what approach to take for each game. But the approach you take for the next game is determined a lot by how you perform in the first. So this is the first of 10. And if we do not win this one, we are going to go back. Or if we struggle, we are going to go back to where we are. And we can't afford, because it took us a lot of time to get out of there. There is no time. Right now, we should be beating the teams we're supposed to beat. We should be beating Brentford. We should be beating the Bournemouth of this world. The teams we're supposed to be beating should be beaten, and this is one of them. So that's why, like Onana said, this is an extremely important game. But look, we may not have, and I think we have managed to cope without Lisandro Martinez. Whereas we're excited that he's back, I may not sit here and dwell a lot on him. But I believe Lisandro Martinez, rather Rafael Varane and Victor Lindelof can ably come out there and do the work in the central defense to deal with Ivan Toney. Now, the issue would be with the midfield. Now, with Kobe, for me, here's the thing, and I'm sad. It's saddening a bit that now he's going to have to be the one sitting where Casemiro sits as the central defensive midfielder. Because if Casemiro was there, he would be sitting there, and Kobe would be a little released as a number 8 and be more mobile. Then he would add a lot to our attack. Today, you expect that since he's not there, I don't think Scott McTominay is the one going to sit at the base of the midfield. McTominay will be more advanced. Now, Kobe is going to be restricted. So meaning the guys ahead of him, Scott McTominay and Bruno, have got to do a lot of work to open up the defenses, the defense of Brentford, for us to create spaces where that we can exploit and get goals, pinholes in their midfield and backline. So yes, Bruno is a player who can do it. Scott McTominay makes extremely good runs. There is a run he made from our box in a counter goal he almost scored against Liverpool. He does make good runs. I think actually Scott McTominay, we don't credit him enough for his technical abilities. I think people judge him a lot for his skill than for his technical abilities. The reason why Scott is able to come off the bench and score goals is because he's extremely technical. I think that's the one thing I will credit him for. In fact, I've said it here before, and I'll say it again. Probably Scott McTominay, of all the players we have, him and Bruno are two players who look obviously like when they retire they can make good managers or coaches. They can make good tacticians. I actually think Scott McTominay will go on to become a football coach, but he has got those good technical abilities, meaning he can make good runs, and that will open spaces or create spaces for the people who should be scoring goals, or even for himself to score the goals. So it's going to get a little more tactical and technical, but also the thing is, we've seen that without Casemiro in the team, Kobe Maino enjoys himself a little bit more. I think Kobe Maino, honestly, is more expressive in that defensive role. He's more expressive without Casemiro. He's I think he takes the ownership. I feel he takes responsibility more. He knows that Casemiro is not there. This is my midfield, and I'm the one responsible. So he's a little more. What's the word I should use? He's a little more responsible. He takes things up in his hands more. When Casemiro is there, you see that he's a little inferior. He looks a little inferior to Casemiro and Bruno. But when Casemiro is not there, Kobe is more dominant. I don't know whether you've observed the same thing. So I'm expecting to see him enjoy himself, but also for me, mostly on the back of what he did with England, it's obvious now that he's going to come all out in the mood. So I think it's going to be a beautiful game if we do control and slow down Brentford, because they can really choose to be fast. If we lock the spaces and they struggle to get the ball to Ivan Toney, I think we put ourselves in the game. But the only way we are going to do that is if we start the way we started against Liverpool. Be proactive, like Eric Ten Hag always wants to say. Let's show the proactiveness, be confident, and let us pass them and attack them with pace, confidence, and directness. If we don't, they will really, we'll give them a chance. And when it goes bad, we know that when it goes bad for Man United, it can't really go bad. Now, up front, our forward line has scored the most goals for us this season. So that in itself is a good confidence for these players. I mean, all these players, with the exception of Højlund, I think performed extremely well in the Liverpool game. Højlund was just returning from an injury, honestly. We can cut him some slack. But Marcus Rashford scored an important goal. Garnacho was there, involved in nearly everything we are doing. So they should be in a good mood. And this is our best forward line. The issue I get with these three is Garnacho, especially lately, looks a bit selfish. At times when he should be passing and picking up Højlund, he tries to go for goal. Now, if these things are things that they have worked on, I'm expecting goals to come in. I think floodgates will pour. That's why I think it's going to be a high scoring game, honestly. With United scoring more, obviously. I think because the nature, the way they play. So I would go for people who have gone for either side scoring. I think back that. I think we might concede a goal. I would be glad if we didn't, but I think we might. But I think we can score more if Garnacho is not selfish, because many times when we fail to score so many goals, at times I think Garnacho could easily be picked up as the culprit because of moments of selfishness, wanting to score for himself. But also when we've scored so many goals, he has been him, because when he's not selfish, we score many goals. When he's selfish, we may win, but we score a few. And we are in a state where we need goals. So that's why we've got to play for each other. Very important. And I want to see that I can't say I've seen it enough consistently. I saw it well in the Liverpool game. That's why I said that was a perfect game for us. Never mind the nature of the victory being tight and intense. I mean, it was Liverpool, but I honestly think it was a perfect result because each player turned up with energy and psyche, but we were playing for each other as a team, as a unit. That's exactly what we need to do. There were no moments where we felt there was a bit of selfishness. You saw the winning goal from Amad Diallo. Garnacho passed to him the ball. Ordinarily before, Garnacho could have tried to beat the man himself and go for goal, but he passed it to Amad. There is teamwork in this. There can be teamwork in this team, and when it's there, we are very dangerous because we've got the pace to beat teams on the counter, but also we've got it's emerging that we've got the skill to be able to dominate teams by passing the ball around comfortably. So for me, if we do the things right, we've got a big chance to be able to beat this Brentford team. Extremely big chance to be able to beat them. So The other thing I want to talk about is focus on Andre Onana. I think we don't give Andre Onana enough. One thing about Onana's game that I keep mentioning, and I like the fact that I think the Man United website just a few days ago also cut out clips showing Andre Onana's contributions, his passing. Onana's ball distribution is a huge pillar in Man United. It's and I love the fact that lately Onana is not overpassing the ball around close to his goal. He now plays those direct passes that we are okay with. Now, Eric Ten Hag might want to play from the back, but I think he's beginning to learn and realize that playing from the back is not what Man United supporters want to do. Yes, we want to play from the back, but not dwell there a lot. We want to be direct as fast. We want to get that ball to the opponent's goal as fast as we can. Now, Eric Ten Hag is beginning to realize it. That's why you see these days, Andre Onana, you count the number of long balls Andre Onana will play in this game. That's why Andre Onana lately is playing a lot of long balls, and most of these balls are almost giving us goals. Some of them have given us goals. Others, it has been up to the guy at the end of it to fail to do his job. But Onana plays perfect passes. And I told you when I watched the warm-up at Carrington, rather the warm-up at Old Trafford for the Spurs game, the one thing that impressed me in that game was how Andre Onana was warming up and passing the ball picture perfect. He was perfect with his diagonal passes. He's a very good, precise pass of the ball, which is good, and we've seen it. It's not by mistake. I think you clearly now see what Eric Ten Hag was looking at when he insisted on him. So I like now that we are making it more direct so that it doesn't put the fans under pressure. Especially at Old Trafford, we don't like playing around our goal a lot. That's not who we are. That's not the kind of football that excites us as United supporters. So I like the fact that it is changing now that we are seeing a lot of more direct long passes from Andre Onana, and it's okay. You can call it one-dot football that the English used to be dissed for, but that is our football as Man United. Honestly, it doesn't put us under pressure. It's really hot lately. The global warming thing is real. So bear with me if I talk while drinking water. It's really hot, extremely hot lately. So guys, pay attention to Andre Onana. Pay attention to Andre Onana and his game and see exactly what he does, because I honestly think he has not been given enough credit. We might focus a lot on his saves, but his ball distribution is also very important. I'm looking for something here, but let me just I'll get it in just a second. It is about 22 minutes to kick off. It's 22 minutes to kick off, and yeah, it's excitement all over the place, expectations. Now, the Brentford team we are facing is 15th on the pile. Brentford is 15th on the log. United, let me just remind you of how we are standing in our race for top 4. So I just said Brentford is 15th. In fact, they could have moved positions after the games that were played today. Yeah, they're still 15th with 26 points in 29 games. They've got a goal difference of minus 13. They have scored 41 goals. Man United has scored 39. So they score goals, but they concede many. So that's the thing. They have scored more. You can imagine they have scored more goals than Man United. Brentford has scored more goals than Man United. So that's why I'm saying I would also think we might consider, I would go for a 3 or 4-1 win for Man United. But for Man United, who that I would dwell more on. So we are 6th with 47 points in 28 games. Goal difference of 0. At least it's a positive. It's not a positive anyway. It's 0. It's on the median. We have no goal. Literally, we haven't scored a single goal because we've scored 39 and conceded as many. But in terms of points, Spurs have got 56. They have played their 29th game. Aston Villa have played 30 games. They have got 59. So if we win, we move to 50, and we are 6 points shy of Spurs and 9 points shy of Aston Villa, but with a game in hand. So not so bad. That's why I say it's we've got a realistic chance to come out there and make it among the top 4 if we do win our games. If we do dominate, or rather execute and win our games. But it all starts from how we do perform in this particular one today. Now, just to remind you, and perhaps you may not want to be reminded, but I want to remind you of the reverse fixture at Old Trafford. where this team almost beat us. And I want to let you in on the stats for you to understand that the team we are facing is no joke. So in terms of possession, we bossed possession 64-36. Goal attempts, we had 21, they had 11. Most of these coming in the dire minutes of the game. Shots on goal, we had 8, they had 3. Shots off goal, 13-8. Free kick, we had 19, they had 14. Goalkeeper saves, we made 2, they made 6. And total passes 557, they had 326. So you see that dangerous attacks, we had 87, they had 28. So the stats might make you think this was a game we dominated fair and square, but if you do recall, it was an intense game that came from, I think we just snatched it from the lion's teeth. We just snatched it. It was a very difficult victory for Man United. Never mind us in the dying minutes of the game going all out and trying to mount a lot of pressure on them. It was a an extremely intense game for Manchester United, extremely difficult for us. So we can't expect an easy game, and at this point there are never any easy games. Any opponent you face is always tough. A team fighting relegation is always going to be tough. But also, guys, as you watch this game, I need you to pay attention to the kind of football that Thomas Frank plays, because he's a good tactician, and that's why you respect, him. That's why he's even linked to Manchester United. It's not by mistake that he's one of the guys of the so many managers who have been linked to Man United. His teams play a decent game, a game that is direct, it's pacey, it's intense, it's technique, it's tactical. He has good tactics and there is technique in his style. But you look at it and consider, and judging by the recent Erik ten Hag games, and you're thinking this whole sack Erik ten Hag thing perhaps must be put to bed and let the guy focus, give him time, because he has shown that he can be a good manager for us who can actually go on to achieve great things for Manchester United. I think that's the reality. I think there is a good chance that Erik ten Hag can go on to achieve a lot of success. So, but that doesn't stop you from looking at Thomas Frank and seeing what exactly he does and how he plays this football, and you see whether it's the kind of football that we can go on to enjoy at Man United. So Andrew Nana has said that Brentford are a very good counter-pressing team. In one-against-one situations, they take a lot of risk. We all know the level of the Premier League. Yes, indeed they do. I think that's a very good analysis of this Brentford team from Andrew Nana. And that's why we've got to be so disciplined in how we play them. We cannot be complacent at all. We need to, I think we need to collectively. I honestly think I don't expect anything short of our performance or our levels against Liverpool, because anything short of that can get us beat properly. I don't think we should turn up with anything short of what we did against Liverpool, because Brentford can be worse, more dangerous than Liverpool. I just told you they beat us by 4-0, and we're talking of a bottom half team beating us by 4-0. So that performance will be fresh in their minds, and if we don't, I think, put ourselves right, they can come out there and just spoil the party that is seeming to just start for us, just spoil it for us, and send us back to conversations of Erik ten Hag out or not. We're a little tight up. This is Ten Hag. We're a little tight up front on the bench with only Anthony, but there are options at midfield and defense. That's what I just spoke about earlier. I think I said with midfield and defense, with the exception of lacking a striker, a backup striker, I think we've got depth in the rest of the departments. But we've seen that I think many of these players can score goals. If they are, Bimaino can score a goal. So I think we can be okay without Martial, who is expected to return very soon, hoping he can impress and be able to play for Manchester United again. But what was decided is that he will not be staying at Manchester United post the summer. So that's where we are. That's the situation for Man United. Just to remind you, in case you don't know, the other games that were played today, Newcastle United, very interesting game, the early kickoff. Newcastle came from behind to beat West Ham by 4-3. It was an interesting one. West Ham were defending terribly in the last minutes of the game. Imagine you're leading away by 3 goals to 2. But the Cat Zumas and company, I think they just want, these players must have just conspired to get our former manager, David Moyes, sacked, because the way they conceded the 2 goals, they could have conceded more, was too terrible. Very poor defending, as if village football from some small club in Uganda. Bournemouth, Everton, 2-1 for Bournemouth. So Everton again, more misery piled on Sean Dyche. I don't see him surviving, long. I think they need to make a decision now if they're going to stay afloat. They still can, because if you look at Everton now and how they are standing, never mind them being docked points. I think the docking of points sort of discouraged them, but they are still lying 16th on the pile. I think for them, all they're playing for is survival. That's the reality. But with the way they are losing games left, right, and center, it's very possible that they could be relegated. They could really be relegated. So they just need to make a decision, like yesterday. The other game, Burnley, Nottingham, 2-1 win for Burnley. Chelsea drew 2-2 against 10-man. No, sorry, it's Chelsea Burnley. Chelsea drew all against 10-man Burnley. Chelsea in trouble, and it's one of the opponents we are having, I think, in 2 or 3 games after this one. Then Nottingham Forest 1-1 up against Crystal Palace. Sheffield United, Fulham 3-3. Tottenham and Luton, it was a 2-1 win for Tottenham. They came from behind, Tottenham, to beat Luton, and that's not good for us, obviously. We're hoping. I saw the quick one from Luton, the first one they scored. Beautiful goal, by the way. Bullet. I thought, they are keeping us in the race, but they capitulated. Aston Villa beat Wolves by 2-0. Again, not a good result for United. Wow. Of course, now we are coming on next with a late kickoff, which is exactly 13 minutes away. And guys, I just now need you to let me know where you're watching this from. Where are you watching this from? Are you home? Are you in a public space, a public place? I will tell you, these remaining games will be most interesting if you watch them from a public place. The next remaining games will be more interesting if you watch them from a public place. In my country, we call them Vivanda. I don't know what you call them in your country, Alfred and the other guys. Who else is not from my country here? Samuel, and who else? Yeah, I don't know what to call them, but these final games, these remaining gets on now for us to get proper into the game. I was honestly losing the guts to watch this game the moment I saw that Kobe Maino was feared ill. But I think I'm in the mood now for it. I'm very much in the mood for the game because I saw Kobe in the lineup. No Kobe, no interest for me at all. I watch just because I love the club. But I think right now, I can easily say I love this boy a little more than a lot of the things about the club. So I'm just getting my game on now. There you go. And of course, in studio is our legend, Peter Schmeichel. Is he the best goalkeeper you've had? I don't know. People can debate him, Van der Sar. Who else? Barthez, I think, doesn't come in the conversation. He looks good. I think he looks properly psyched up and ready. He has made 21 appearances, scored 7 goals, 29 shots, conversion rate of 24.1%, and made 2 assists. That's Rasmus Højlund. Honestly, I hope that this injury that he had does not slow him down. But the reality is, I've got utmost belief in Rasmus Højlund and what he can do with United. I think he has got everything it takes to emulate the greats we've had. And by the greats, I mean I'm talking of the Wayne Rooneys, the Van Nistelrooys of this world, not the class below them. I think the top strikers we've had in history. I think he has got everything it takes to be able to match them. But of course, it can't. All the guys I spoke about excelled in a good team, in good teams, if I would say, with a good manager, and I think that's important. With a team that was playing for them, they were playing in teams that were playing for them, which is very important. So with Hoyland, the start, I think why he has even scored only 7 goals, because we know that he could have scored more, is because he was playing with guys for the first so many games. He was playing with guys who are not playing for him. But we know that if they play for him, this boy can score more goals than Haaland in a season. For me, proper. Garnacho looking in the mood, Kobe looking fresh. Of course, Ivan Toney as well. I hate to see it, but he looked ready and prepared. Guys, are you feeling the jitters? I'll need to drink some water for this, because you never know which United is going to turn up. But after this game, I think we can have a clear idea. If we are as good as we were against Liverpool in this game, then for me, I will be well assured now that we've picked the consistency to push for a top 4. And even if we fail, but we've done our part, I think I'll just be the first to say, keep Ten Hag. From the back and the midfield, we have good options. Of course, I think I've read this for you. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's showtime, ladies and gentlemen. You've got 8 minutes to kick off. And yeah, the mood is right. The stage is set. And of course, the Tech Community Stadium is set for what is supposed to be the last game of the day this action returns from that international, if you do recall. And of course, those are memories you want to take. At least for now, we can only enjoy such memories. Johnny Evans is the only remaining member of that team who is still at Man United now. He won't be starting the game tonight, but he is there. Of course, he had colleagues like Patrice Evra, who was the captain in this one. David De Gea, who left unceremoniously. Wow, these are nostalgic images. Of course, Robin van Persie came out last in that game, and he had no kind face for his Arsenal teammates, former Arsenal teammates. That's the day I think he decided that I'm for United, even if I played longer for Arsenal. Indeed, Man United, we are legends. Of course, that's a clip I'm just bringing in to just refresh your mind on the beauty of this game and the power of Man United, if in case you've forgotten how great we are as Manchester United. Of course, some people might think now, because we're struggling, this has been our story for life. Well, those are the babies who will think so. We are United, and we are the legends of the Premier League, having won the most titles. And soon, you feel it, that with this arrival of Sir Jim Ratcliffe, never mind being slowed down by talks of Dan Ashworth, our preferred director of football, being forced to stay a bit because, well, Newcastle United are holding on for £20 million, which Man United are debating. And quite frankly, for me, I honestly think, whereas it's unheard of for a team to pay that amount of money for someone who is not a footballer, I think with how much money we've wasted signing the wrong players and playing football without direction, I think it's okay for us to spend £20 million on Dan Ashworth and a tested, approved and trusted director of football. If we could spend 85 million quid on Anthony, really, we can spend £20 million on Dan Ashworth, who would save us from wasting that amount of money on a player like that. But of course, someone else would say, where was he looking? How did he sign Sandro Tonali, this boy who is charged with match fixing? Now, speaking over with betting breaking betting rules. But speaking of breaking betting rules, one victim who was found guilty and served his ban, but now will focus on punishing Manchester United, is none other than Ivan Toney. He will be skippering or captaining his Brentford team as they march out at their Tech Community Stadium, and of course looking confident as the word. Bruno on the other side as well, looking confident and psyched up, proper And well, behind him is Andre Onana, and of course they are putting on those striped, the third stripes, the stripes of the third kit. What they are putting on, of course, they are hoping that this will be the kit that gives us the, the blessings to be able to beat this team proper, put them where they belong. Of course, it's game on. The teams are marching on, ladies and gentlemen, and it's short time. You can sip on your water. The Tech Stadium is filled to the rafters. The away end as well is filled. Certainly, people have traveled all the way to London from wherever they came to enjoy this one. And of course, as we are going to get prepared to look at the lineups one more time, of course, it's that day that we hope things remain good for us. We were so happy the last time we watched Manchester United play. We were extremely happy and excited by our display because we beat our biggest rival in Liverpool, but this is a rival that is not as big as Liverpool, but can really beat us, and we leave feeling that it was Liverpool we were playing. Now here is the starting 11 for this Brentford team. They're playing a 3-5-2 formation. That's what they're playing. I played football in a 3-5-2 formation when I was a kid in my academy football. Of course, it wasn't professional football at all. So don't you think I am a pro at playing? But for United, we've gone for, on paper, it looks like a 4-2-3-1 with Kobe Mainoo and Scott McTominay sitting at the base, whereas Bruno Fernandes is playing the 10 behind Rasmus Højlund. And of course, Bruno is sandwiched by Garnacho and Marcus Rashford to the left. The back line is where the focus will be. Victor Lindelof standing next to Rafael Varane, whereas Dalot is on the right back position, whereas Aaron Wan-Bissaka is playing from the left. And of course, our man Andre Onana, who has started every game in the Premier League since arriving from Inter Milan, is starting in goal. The bench, Tom Heaton, the backup goalkeeper, Sofian Amrabat, Harry Maguire, Lisandro Martinez, Mason Mount, Christian Eriksen, who is not happy about being a bench player, Willy Cambuala, and Anthony Dos Santos. Guys, it is exactly 1 minute to kick off, and let's get proper into this one. It's short time, ladies and gentlemen. I better change this. It's no longer the build-up. It's short time. There you go. And let's get proper into the action. Pictures of the captain Bruno Fernandes looking focused as the word. And of course, whenever we win the toss to start the play, Bruno always has the first kick. Brentford in their signature red and white stripes. Man United in our green and white with white shorts. Ivan Toney, a close-up of him, obviously the man to watch. And Kobe Mainoo, the genius, the wonder boy, the star boy, the special one, looking focused. This boy, so humble as the word, down to earth, even with all the praise, he stays focused and humble. And you can see him doesn't laugh when he's on the pitch. He doesn't smile. He is always ready for the action. Let's get it, guys. Let's get proper into the action. It's Bruno Fernandes. And here we go. Andre Onana. Again, that's the first long pass he has played. I've told you in my build-up, pay attention to how many long passes Andre Onana plays, because Eric changing his way of playing to stop passing the ball around, because we have been punished several times because of that before. And for me, I honestly prefer him doing it this way. So here we go. Well, We are still playing the ball from up where it hadn't settled down. Brentford settles it. They're now passing. Again, back up in the air. Lindelof. Dalot. Our most improved player, arguably. Him and Andre Onana. Diogo Dalot and Andre Onana have by far been our most improved players. Rafael Varane is playing on the left side of the defense. Onana finds Kobe. Onana is never shy to pass the ball to Kobe in those tight positions. And honestly, I'm never under pressure when it's Kobe who's receiving that ball with his back facing the opponent's goal. He's just confident enough to make those beautiful turns. And indeed, he just did that one with his first touch on the ball. And like I said, my prediction is this might be Kobe's best game in a United jersey because his confidence must be boosted a lot after that performance against England. So he's only supposed to turn up and get better. The free kick for Brentford, goalkeeper to take. Sends a long one in. Well, danger in the box, looking for Ivan Toney. Toney was trying to force it in, beautiful steal there. Snatched and kicked away by Bruno. Bruno finds Marcus Rashford. It's a counter on Rashford with his pace. What does he do with it? He has got an option on the left. Does he exploit it? No, he has decided to. Bruno! That's an audacious effort from Bruno. I have reservations about Marcus Rashford's decisions at times. I don't think he made the best decision. Well, that was fair hold-up play, but I thought he could have passed the ball to the overlapping runner on his left, who must have been Højlund. That should be Højlund. Højlund made a good run to overlap him, but he refused to pass the ball to him. Well, faster shot towards goal, but it wasn't on target. Kobe blocks. Well, we have a 38% probability to win this one. The hosts have 33% and it's only 29% for a stalemate. That's Bruno. Nice. Tries to send it through, but is denied. Lindelof. What does he do with it? Bruno sends it wide to Garnacho. Kobe, Garnacho. Kobe. Lindelof. Dalot has inverted himself now. He's in the middle. It's now Kobe looking like he's in the right back position. Sends it back. Dalot is still running from the middle, inverted. There's a certain confidence that Diogo Dalot has on the ball that he looks like he has played midfield before. He's now in the midfield positions. He has switched now. Kobe Mine has returned home in the middle. Dalot was for a moment there playing as a midfielder. When we have the ball, Dalot inverts himself and joins the midfield. And he does it quite comfortably. It's something different. You'll love to see it. An attempt there for a long pass from Brentford, but Wan-Bissaka clears to force a corner. First corner of the game goes to Brentford because they are still trying to find their man Ivan Toney. He looks injured, Toney. Looks like it wasn't a good landing for him. It's okay. Still on. Yeah, it's 5 minutes into the game, and honestly, it's early days to talk about how we are playing. But I think it's not looking so good so far. I think against Liverpool by this time we are you know clearly the better side. Right now it's 50-50. Still not a settled game. We are all over the place. Corner taken again. Ivan Toney escaped and got his head on that ball. You can't let that happen. He will punish you. He will punish you. Toney will punish you. Rashford was just ball watching. Well, Toney must be fighting to convince Gareth Southgate to choose him over Ollie Watkins as the backup striker for Harry Kane. Isaka. Andre Onana. What does he do again? Long pass. Hoyland has not touched the ball a lot yet. You don't like to see it. But of course, so as long as when he does, it's a goal, we won't care how many times he gets the ball. We've seen Erling Haaland having the least touches on the ball but scoring the most goals. So with a striker, all you need is to just kick the ball in the back of the net. Even if you only do it once in a game, we shall be okay. Now, again, good clearance there. That was a dangerous situation. Garnacho denied. Loses it. The ball does not settle properly on the ground. This has not yet settled into good football. It's still looking like street football a bit. Still playing from our box. Varane finds Dalot. Beautiful pass from Bruno. Oh, that was a nice pass to Hoyland. Just missed his touch there, but that was a good play from Bruno Fernandes. Kobe, beautiful. Rashford, what does it do? Wan-Bissaka overlaps Rashford again. Nice 1-2 there. Rashford tries to find Hoyland, but well read by Brentford defender and cleared. Well, we are beginning to build patterns. The patterns are beginning to look visible, to be visible. Again, Dalot inverts himself, adds to the midfield. Isaka, Rashford, Bruno. Bruno looks like he's in the mood today. Nice. Good back heel to force a throw in there from Bruno. Turn from Bisaka there. It's a counter. We lose it, and it's Ivan Toney sends it back. Brentford are calm. Nice cross. It's looking dangerous. We need to press them and push them back. Nice steal there. Well read there from Hoyland, who is supporting the defense. Again, still not out of danger. Cross in. Well headed away. Nice, beautiful. Powerful Hoyland. Beautiful again. Chance for a counter-attack here. Wrong decision, but let's go with it. Garnacho. Hoyland, keep your head up. Garnacho. Kobe. Kobe is looking too casual. Too casual. This boy just makes football look so easy. So easy. Throw in for Man United. I think the rhythm of the game is beginning to be realized. I think it's beginning to look like a good football game. I think we have a good game on us. 11 minutes into it, and I feel like Man United is beginning to build patterns. They're beginning to be seen and visible. We're beginning to play more in their half. We are playing a lot in our half. I think the ideas are beginning to come. The players are beginning to grow into it. And I honestly like it better if we grow into games than us coming and get off the blocks, then capitulate after only a few minutes. So for me, the slow progress is okay. Kobe, nice stuff there. Varane to poor dribble there from Garnacho. Poor dribble. Yeah, first time I think this should be the first time that Andrew Nana is touching the ball with his hands, not kicking it. He has been having it, but more on his feet. Garnacho. Rashford. Garnacho again. Bruno. Rashford. Nice. Rashford. Dalot. Weak shot. Decent effort. Well, I don't know whether you realize how Garnacho adds to the attack, joins the right wing whenever we get the ball. We are into an attack. Garnacho makes that diagonal run from his right and crosses to the left to add to the pressure on the left with Rashford, then Bruno, then him. It's a good thing to see. I like that mobility. I like that mobility. It's good. It yielded us a goal, if you recall, in the last game. Corner, first corner of the game for Man United. Cleared. Poor ball control from, who is this? Marcus Rashford. Swings in a cross. Weak one. Cleared away. Back to Rashford again. Tries to beat off one man. He fails. Guys, is Scott McTominay in the game? Am I the only one not seeing Scott? Is he lost with the lot? I honestly don't see Scott McTominay on the ball. Maybe it's my eyes letting me down, but I don't see Scott McTominay. I've just remembered that since the start, I've not mentioned his name at all. There he is. So invisible. Rashford. Kobe. Nice ball from Bruno. Find Hoyland. That was good hold-up play from Hoyland. Nice tackle from Varane on Ivan Toney. Guilty for a foul. Man United's bossing possession 63-37. Good start, decent start. But the most important start in a game of football is the score. And as it is now, still as it started, throw in. Brentford trying to press us. Pressure is still on. Who clears? Oh, most unknown goal. Corner kick. Oh. We are flirting with danger, aren't we? This is flirting with danger. This is us flirting with danger. We can't do that. That could have been a goal. Still under pressure. Ah, goodness. Too much pressure. Too much pressure. We are flirting with pressure. Clear the ball. Good play there from Varane. Good timing. Good game reading from Varane there. But why all the pressure? Another corner. We are panicking. They are putting us under pressure. It's dangerous. We need to concentrate. We are losing focus. And that lets them into the game. Another corner. So many corners. That should be the fourth corner for Brentford. It's not good. We need to reduce these corners. They're becoming way too many. Way too many. Again, they started. Swings in a cross. Well cleared again by Varane. Beautiful play from Rafael Varane. What is Bruno doing? What is Bruno doing? This is our box. You're close to our box and you're playing. Pressure. Pressure. Now, can't clear the ball. Somehow there are so many Man United players around the ball, but they somehow can't get it and clear it. Foul. Free kick in a dangerous situation. Ivan Toney is so sharp. He wants to start it quickly. Free kick. It's a dangerous position. Extremely dangerous position. But we invite this kind of pressure on ourselves. Our players are so many behind the ball, but they don't have the focus, the concentration to pick it out and clear it. It's sad. Ivan Toney against Andre Onana. Toney is so stealthy, extremely stealthy. Nice. Another corner. Another corner. Wow. The pressure is on. 5 corners against 1. Well cleared. Still not. The pressure is too much. I think for the past 10 minutes they have been playing in our half. Finally, it's a goal kick. We need to calm down for our own good. We need to calm it down for our own good. Honestly, we are letting Brentford so much into the game. We don't clear balls. We should be clearing. We somehow have so many bodies behind the ball, but we're just not getting the ball. And that's a sign of lack of concentration. It's only Varane who is watching the ball and clearing it. He's literally doing everything for everyone else. The rest of the guys are just running and ball watching. It's bad. Again, what do they do with this one? Nice. Catching practice for Andrew Onana. Again, they were almost catching us. They were almost catching us. I'm slowly beginning to see why we need Casemiro. The pace was becoming too much for us a bit. Casemiro slows it down. Beautiful 1-2 there. It's Bruno. Dalot swings the cross in. Goal kick. Tries to find Garnacho, but Garnacho's header lacks direction. Good cheeky cross. How was Garnacho trying to head that ball? With the back of his head, or I think the possession is beginning to even out. It was 67-33 before. I think it's beginning to even out now. I think Brentford have been letting back into the game. It's probably almost 50-50. Wow! Oh, goodness, saved by the woodwork. Ivan Toney, how did he miss that? Save, he never misses such. Guys, we are creating lots of spaces. We need Casemiro. Look at that. He was all alone unmarked in the midfield. Single touch. How does a person play one touch like that in the middle? One touch and beats about 3 men. Oh my goodness. Ivan Toney, how did he miss that? He never. Wow. Onana was beaten hands down. Tony never misses such. Wow. I think we are beginning to lose it. Again, we always reach a point and become a bit disorganized. I think we are beginning to be. We're a bit disorganized, especially in the middle. We are letting in spaces. We are letting in a lot of spaces. We are lucky not to be down by a goal. Wow. Bisaka, Rashford, Kobe. Again, slows down the game a bit. Knows what to do. He dictates the tempo of the game. That's what he does. It's slow now. Okay. Kobe loses it in a rather rare manner of him by his standards. This again looks ugly. Marcus Rashford can't control the ball. Rashford plays lazily sometimes. He plays lazy football sometimes, but Ivan Toney is giving us a hard time. Toney is giving us a lot of headache. Beautiful tackle there from Dalot. Beautiful tackle from Dalot. Goal kick. It is not looking good at all for us. 27 minutes. And I can't say we are doing good, honestly. We are surviving. Bruno having a few instructions from Erik ten Hag. Bruno taking some instructions from Erik. Nice. Nice. Bissaka. Pass to Rashford. Bruno. Dalot. Almost tries to swing it into Bissaka, but couldn't get to him. Counter launched. Again, Ivan Toney. I hate to see him get the ball in such positions. Tries to go for goal, but deflected. Wow. This is going to be a long game. What a game. Brentford are into the game. Brentford are in it. They are in it, Brentford. We need to get back into it. Rashford. Rashford again. What does he do this time? Passes it to Kobe. Nice, beautiful pass from Kobe. What a pass. Hoyland, I can't blame him. He didn't expect it. How he even saw him hidden behind bodies. Another corner. Wow. These are so many corners for Brentford. And again, it's Rafael Varane, who I think has been our better player so far, who brushes it. Another corner. Should be the 8th corner for Brentford. 7th or 8th. Crossing. Oh, again. We're almost conceding. Wow. "32 minutes played so far." Foul on Kobe. Oh, counter. Onana is out of his goal. It's dangerous. Again, almost. Tony. Wow. Too much pressure. Too much pressure.